I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I like your shirt. It's very fun and
Oh,
colorful.
thank you. Oh, thank you. Now, this movie was crazy. I was not expecting where it went. And so I got to hear from you, like, what drew you to The Tutor and what was it like working with this cast?
First of all, the cast is a huge part of what drew me to the tutor. I mean, Noah, incredibly talented, wonderful. Garrett, super talented. Jordan Ross, our director, is incredible. I loved working with him. But I think like what obviously drew me first to the project was reading the script. One of my favorite genres is a good thriller. I love thrillers, and so I was excited about that. And when I read the script, it very much like kept me guessing. I didn't know where it was going, what was going to happen next. And I feel like a lot of the times when I read scripts, I'm kind of good at figuring out like where it's going to go. And with this one, I really couldn't, and I didn't see things coming. So I love that about it. Also, I love the character of Annie. You know, she is really just like an innocent in this film. She's very has pure intentions. She is Ethan Garrett's girlfriend. I'm pregnant in the movie. That's a first for me. I've never played a pregnant character, which also just added a lot of layers and vulnerability to playing her. You know, she really is like at her most vulnerable. Her hormones are raging. She's emotional. There's a lot going on. There's a nice little character arc there. So between the script, the amazing cast, the amazing director, and filming in Alabama. I love Alabama, to be honest. And filming in Birmingham was wonderful. And they have like surprisingly a really great like food scene there. And so in my downtime, I would spend a lot of time eating at like different restaurants, and I had a great time. And it was just a wonderful experience.
And it's so funny because I was going to ask you, there's so many, actors that we have grown up with, and now it's like so crazy to be like, wait a minute, we're all growing up together, kind of getting to different stages in your life where like you can be playing a pregnant woman. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy.
I know it's probably weird for people in a way to like, they watch me on Netflix when I was like 17, 18, I'm victorious, like bopping around. And then I'm like, boop, now I got a baby. I mean, it's been so long since that show, obviously too, but yeah, it's really exciting to be able to push myself and play new characters like this. And yeah, I do feel like my audience has kind of like grown up with me, and they're ready to see me take on different characters and new roles and more mature roles, and just where I'm at in life and where these characters could go. It's all very fun.
And this film really makes you question things, right? It's like, can you really trust someone that you're close to? Like, and trust is really huge. So like, how do you establish trust in your own life?
How do I establish trust in my own life? That's a great question. I mean, I think like trust really is, you establish trust by the actions of the other person, what they say and do to make you feel like you can trust them. But it's less about the words, and I think more about the action.
You got your start on Nickelodeon as a child star, and in this film you're acting alongside Noah Schnapp, who, another child star who grew up on Stranger Things. And I'm just curious, like, do you have tips on how to navigate those pressures at like such a young age?
I don't think Noah honestly needs any tips from me. Like, I think he's doing just fine. He's killing it, and he is very grounded and has his head on his shoulders and is a lovely person. But I mean, in general, any tips on, I guess, navigating child stardom? What would I say? I don't know. I think for me, like, I feel very lucky because I have always had a very strong support system. I'm really close to my family, very close to my parents. My mom has always been very involved in my life. And so I think like having that throughout all those years was always very important to me and kept me grounded. I think the most important thing is the people that you surround yourself with. I think it's easy when you do hit a certain level of fame and whatnot to have like yes people around you, and people that just want to be like, yes, you're amazing, like whatever, and kind of ride on those coattails. And I think it's important to be like discerning about like, okay, who is like real here, like who's really going to be here, like, and people will show you that too, who, when I'm, I'm on the highest of highs now, but when I come down, like, who's still around, and like those are the people that you need to keep around.
You know, we've known you've had an incredible voice for years, you know, from Victorious to Rocky Horror, which I love. And you've also been working on new music, and rumor has it an album as well. So, like, what can you tell us about that?
It's really exciting. I love making music. It's such a huge passion of mine. I've been in the studio working on stuff, and I have a collection of songs already that I'm excited to put out. I'm excited to put a bunch more music out this year. And yeah, I mean, the next single that I'm going to put out, I don't want to give too much away yet. And I'm still like sort of deciding on all the details of everything. But I will say, like, you know, I write most of my own music. And so it's all like comes from a very real kind of personal place. And that's my favorite music, and also my favorite artists are the people that are honest and vulnerable. And I think that's what makes us feel like connected as humans and feel like we're not alone. And so if I can achieve that in any way and make people connect to some of those emotions, then I feel like I've done my job, and I'm excited for people to hear the new stuff. I'm very proud of it.
That's awesome. And now, you know, it's no secret that you're half Puerto Rican. I am too, but some people are still surprised by that to find that out about you. And, you know, I think it's so cool to, you know, be able to have grown up with characters of yours like Lola Martinez, like Troy Vega, that, you know, are Latino at their core, regardless of whether you see that on screen or not. But I'm curious what that means to you to kind of represent for that community.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, I feel like, no offense, but like I've always said, like being Puerto Rican, I feel like is my better half, you know, like, I don't know. I love being Puerto Rican. I love the culture. I love the food. It's just, I love it. And so I think to be able to play those sort of characters and to have, you know, kids who can look at me and be like, oh, I relate to this person, or I kind of look like this person, or, you know, whatever it may be, just to have, that representation, I think is so important. And if I can do that in any kind of small way, then that's wonderful. And I would, that makes me very, very proud and very happy.
I gotta ask, obviously there's a Zoey 101 reboot coming up, and the show was a really big breakout for you. What made this kind of not the right time to kind of return to that though?
I think I had a lot going on at the moment, to be honest. And timing wise, it was just hard to kind of make it all work. It was not because of a lack of love for the cast and for that show. You know, I'm so grateful to, you know, that whole time in my life and for being on that show. Zoey 101 is kind of like what put me on the map in that whole world. And I had the best time making it. And I love that cast so much. Each of them, like they all hold a very special place in my heart. So I really wish I could have been there, to be honest. I'm sad that I missed out on it because I really do love each of them, but I'm sure like the film looks amazing. I was in contact with all of them and talking to Jamie a lot. And so I know the movie's going to be awesome. And I'm just like, I'm rooting for them so hard and I can't wait to see it.
Before we wrap up, I got to share. I dug this out from the depths of my home. I had spoken to Harvey Guillen a little while back, and he said he still had one. So I wanted to see if you were in the club and you had one too.
And oh my God, I don't have one here, but I have it at another place. That's so funny. Yeah. How do you have that? Did they just send those out like when we were doing press a while ago?
You know, I work at MTV as well on the social team, and so I was there when this was on, and I was like hyped for the show because I was like, I love you, I love R.L. Stine, and I don't know, I still have it, and so I was searching everywhere, and I was like, I have to bring it out.
That is so funny. To be honest with you, I don't even know if that's my eye. Oh, I think it might be, but I'm not sure. Maybe. Whoever's eye it is, nice eye.
Yeah. But yeah, I had to bring it out. I mean, eye candy is like kind of another thriller of yours that we all love. So.
I love eye candy. I love making eye candy. And you know, it's really cool, even though it's been years since that show aired too, and unfortunately we only got one season, but like people really loved that show and wanted to see more of it. And so I still see comments to this day of people saying like, we want like eye candy season 2 or eye candy reunion. And I'm like, oh, I love that. People love that show.
And so many incredible people from that show. You, Harvey Guillen, Kiersey Clemens, just everybody's doing amazing things.
Yeah, that whole cast also was so wonderful, so talented, and just lovely humans. So yeah, I love them all. I'm so happy for everyone.
Yeah, everyone's killing it. You're killing it. Congrats on this movie. I'm so excited for people to see it. And thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kristen. It was nice talking to you.
You too, you too.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!